everybody, welcome back to the Slimefun tutorial here on your channel. I am your host, Boomer. Guys, I am so happy to finally be back recording videos. So much has happened to me over my family over the last couple of months. We've been through busted laptops. We've been through COVID. The entire family got hit. We've had a lot of travel, so many things. What's all past that, we're getting back. And today we are starting with Fluffy machines. Now, before I get into Fluffy, I do want to say there are probably 8 or 9 new add-ons within the last few months that I've held off on for 2 reasons. One, we have a number of add-ons that have been around for much longer that we still have not covered. And 2, I'd like a chance for some of those kinks and things to get worked out of any of the new ones. Should there be any issues to deal with, I'm not saying there are, I'm just simply saying I'd like to give it time for them to finally get them ready and set to go so that you guys can see them as good as they were meant to be. All right, and what the intent was that they've been put together by the individual devs. So we're going to hold off on those just a little bit longer. We're going to cover a few of the ones here that I'm way overdue on covering. And today we're going to cover the first of 3 episodes on Fluffy. We're going to break it down in 3. So let's get started. Today, the first thing we're going to talk about is we're actually going to get into Fluffy storage. We're going to get into the cargo section, and we're going to cover the miscellaneous section. To start with, we are going to simply get into the cargo, or really, this is a cargo section. So we need an ender chest here. Now, I don't know why I've rebooted my server, I've reconnected to my internet a couple of times, and I cannot get the extraction node's texture to load. It's orange, it looks just like this one does, but it's orange. And I just can't get it to load. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the nether. We're going to fill a chest full of stone and bring it in the overworld. And this is the example of, let's say you got a gold farm running in a nether. You're AFK over there. You've got somebody you're working with, or you've got a chunk loader keeping this part of your overworld base loading so you can send the gold through and send it to your storage, what have you. So as you'll see, we have nothing in our ender chest, nothing in this chest yet. So let's go hop into the nether. All right, and here we go. Same thing, our ender chest has nothing. We have nothing in this chest. So again, cargo is not necessary. You can run these nodes without it. We're going to fill this chest full of stone, okay? And what we're gonna start seeing, as soon as I let go of the mouse, is that these items will start to disappear and go right into our ender chest. So if we take a look at the ender chest here, you can see there's only 1 stack, but yet, they're getting inserted into our ender chest. So that's a good sign. That chest is empty. My ender chest is empty. Let's go back to the overworld. And let's take a look at this chest. There we go. Isn't that sweet? I love these things. These are great, especially when you need to move items from one world to the other. It makes the process so much easier. All right. Now let's talk about cargo manipulators. This allows you to do just that. You can copy a cargo node setting and paste it onto another node. So all you have to do is simply right click to copy the settings of a cargo. So click, let's say if you want to set an output node because you're making a dust farm on 20 different gold pans and you want that to be copied, or you're doing the dust washers. Whatever that configuration is on the first one, if you right click it, you left click the new node and it will copy those settings right over. Now, if you need items into the node themselves, you'll still have to insert those items. It's not going to dupe them for you, but it will at least set the node up, speeding things up for you just a little bit. All right, moving on from cargo, we're going to go over and we're going to, actually, you know what, while we're here, we're going to grab the dolly. Now, the dolly allows you to pick up chests. It does not pick up barrels, it does not pick up IE storage, it does not pick up anything else. And you can do single, or you can do, I believe now we can also do a double chest. So let's set that up as a double chest. If we grab the dolly, look at that. We have picked up a double chest of stone. Let's say I want it over here. Right click to paste it back down, or place it. And when we open that, there is our double chest halfway full of stone. The dolly is a great tool because especially when you're in your beginning base, and you need to move your chest to your, you start from your starter base to your next one, the dolly is great because then you don't have to pull everything out of the chest, fill your inventory. You probably don't have shulker boxes. You might not have backpacks. To move all that stuff is a pain, and simply being able to do it by picking them all up at once is great. All right, one other miscellaneous item in here that I do want to hit on right away is the fireproof run. Now, this is great, especially in the beginning if you don't have access to ancient debris. You're not in Nether, you don't have anything right now. You can make an item fireproof. All you need to do, drop your tool, drop the run right on it, and your item is now fireproof. It is a very low-cost alternative to going into the Nether and getting ancient debris and making your pick netherite. Now, at some point, absolutely you want to do that, but if you're nowhere near that yet, this is a great alternative to get started. All right, let's talk about transportation. We'll come back to the barrels last. So the warp pads are great because these allow you to set up tons of transportation sites, just like the core teleporter. This can, now granted, it functions a little bit differently than a teleporter. A teleporter can hold 20 waypoints in it. You do have to set up a warp pad at the beginning and the end for each one, but there is no limit. You can set up hundreds of these in your bases if you really needed to. They have a teleportation limit of 100 blocks by default. From my understanding, if I remember right, it's in items YML. You can change that distance. I don't think it's in a fluffy config. I think it's in items YML. So to set this, if you look, the node tells you exactly what to do. Whichever one you want to be the destination pad, you shift and right click. And you simply right click on the one that you want to be the origin, in other words, where you're going to start and where you're going to go. And then you can see where the coordinates are that are linked if you want to see where it's going. So what we're going to do, I'm going to jump on this one and teleport to my destination over there to set that other one as an origin to come back. So let's say I'm in my base and that is my mine entrance. I will be able to start from here, teleport to my mine. When I'm done, use the other origin to come right back here. So like we said, to set your destination, we're going to shift right click or sneak right click, and now you can see destination has been set. All right. To use it, simply stand on top of it and sneak. And now you can see I'm on my destination. We're going to come over here, and like we said, we're simply going to right click to set the origin. And now if I come up in here and sneak, I'm back where I started. So now I have a transportation loop. I can go on my origin, go to my mine, go mining, come back up, and come right back to the beginning of my base. It's not thousands of blocks, but 100 is still sure a lot better than jumping and bouncing for 15 or 20 seconds. It'll get you there a lot quicker. All right, now there's one other transportation item, and it's called the elevator. Now, these are functioning essentially the same way they do in core. All right, we're gonna come over here, we're gonna step on it. This is the floor we are currently on. So whatever I happen to be on, and by the way, you can right click these and name it. So instead of Y or floor 0, I can say this floor equals Y equals minus, let's see, where are we? Minus 60, I believe. All right, so get rid of that. So this is Y equals minus 60. I can go up to, I called that floor SF cheat for some stupid reason. That one's minus Y equals 39, or I haven't set that name yet. So let's go up to the one I haven't set the name at. Let's take a look and see what Y level am I. I'm on Y equals minus 28. So we're going to click it, click on that, and go to, Y equals minus 28. And as you see, color codes are supported. So let's do that. Let's do and 2, Y equals minus 28. All right, so now you can see it's green. So now if I come back, I step on my, oops, I got to go back down. We'll come back up to this one. Y equals minus 60, the FSF cheat floor, Y equals 39, and my color coded floor, Y equals minus 28. So these are very quick ways to bounce around. Again, vertically, you do have to place them at the same X and Z coordinates, but you can place them at any Y level all the way down to minus 64 if you can get down that far, and all the way up to Y equals 320. All right, and the last thing we're going to talk about today is going to be the fluffy barrels. Fluffy barrels are awesome. These things are cool, and he added a new one not that long ago called the mini fluffy barrel. Now, all the barrels got some buffs to it as well. They used to be smaller in storage, have all been massively overhauled and have much higher capacity, and I thought that was a great decision on his part because the game has changed. People like myself and a lot of the other players who build these massive bases, I kid you not, on the server I play on, I have over 4 billion dust stored. That doesn't include what's already gone up. That's just what's stored. And so when you see these bigger bases and people need more and more storage, it made sense to go from the size they were to a much bigger storage facility. Now, I understand there are people who like smaller, and that's great because Networks has that ability of a 4K storage unit. Here, the smallest one is 172,800. Now, what's nice about this is Fluffy left this configuration. Click to change the max size. So if I don't want it to be that big, I only want it to hold 500 items. I now only store 500 items. No other storage unit has this capability. IE and Networks cannot be configured this way. So Fluffy has given us that option where if you want a smaller storage unit, you can simply set it. If I tried to set this one to, let's say, what is that, 50 million? I can't. You can't set it bigger than the maximum size by default. You would have to upgrade to the next higher storage unit. So could I go to all the way to the deep end unit, which stores 1.728 billion items? All right. Now you notice something is that one can't be changed. Neither can this one. The only one that has that ability to be shrunken down is the mini Fluffy barrel. Okay. So for those that want that real small barrel size, you have that capability. And by the way, guys, if you play on the same server I do, we have Fluffy barrels installed. So you'll see it's gone, starting with the small Fluffy barrel. Now there are a couple of other things that we have on here as well that you're probably used to from IE as well as Networks, is that those have void access. Here it's overfill trash. So if I have additional items, if my barrel fills up and I don't want my network to back up with production, I'm simply going to toggle this to delete the extra items that won't fit. And here's a nice little thing. You can turn the holograms on or off. So if I don't want the holograms because my floor has that texture and I don't want to see all those holograms, if I use my floor as my storage unit, then I can turn the holograms off. And if I want to see what's in here, I can simply come in and take a look. If I want them on, that's great. I can toggle it right back on as well. Fluffy has a lot of unique things in here that every add-on has, and I really love this because how many nuclear reactors are you going to auto-craft, right? If I only want to craft 30 of them, but I don't have time to hold it all, it's going to take me a while, I simply come in here and I can change the max size to 30. And that's it. Isn't that sweet? I love that feature. That is so cool. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. This is part 1 of 3 with Fluffy. Stay tuned. I'm hoping to, over the next couple of days, we'll have parts 2 and 3 to you. As always, don't forget that when you're playing Slimefun, you gotta go boomer or you gotta go home. We'll see you later.